So look what I found on Reaper. If you missed the previous edition of this one, be sure to I'll leave it in the description. This time we're going to look at a couple of actions that I've been finding really useful for my daily workflow. Let's get into it. Straight from Mexico City, my name is Juanchis, and let's dive into it. Okay, so one of the things that I'm usually thinking a lot about is my screen real estate. So I like to have like the height of my tracks as clear as possible. And remember that in the view menu up top, you can look at different menus that maybe you haven't explored thoroughly in Reaper. One of them is the track manager, where you can actually hide tracks that you are not using. So sometimes when I'm working with something and I don't want to be dealing with takes because I had to do some cleanup on this take, remember that you can just go add an effect on the take and maybe do something like this. And you can just use an action like render items to new take. And now you have this plugin burned into the second take, as you can see. I know you have a version with the effects on that I usually suggest that you just take it off, holding Option and left clicking, or holding Alt and left clicking, and you can switch between takes. Usually what happens is that it turns into a stereo take, and I don't like that. So I'll just go into item processing, into item settings, and change this into a mono downmix. And now I have it just like that. For that, I have a custom action. Remember that you can build it here, and you can do both of these actions setting up in your toolbar or wherever you like on your keyboard. And you can just do that in one single shortcut without having to do a lot of clicks like I just did right now. On the other hand, if you want to work like this, that's fine. Sometimes that's a bit uncomfortable. And maybe you just want to duplicate this track. And maybe you want a different EQ for this one. Let's call it the blue one. And you want this one is the one that you printed and you want to work only with the blue one. So you will eventually end up with a larger session where you are just muting this one above and it's taking up screen real estate. So in the track manager, what you can do is you can select mute for the track, and you can hide it from the mixer. That's right here on the right. And you can hide it from the track panel view on the left. I think it's easier to only see the tracks that you're working with and to have some visual control of which tracks are actually muted. If you right click right here, you could also link the visibility from the mixer and the track control panel. This works because some people like to have some auxiliary tracks where they're sending a mono reverb or delays or something, and they just want to look at it within the mixer. So maybe you have this new track where I'm calling it delay, and you only want to look at it in the mixer panel, so it's not occupying an extra space right there. So you can unlink this one and disappear it from the track control panel. That way you don't have it here, but when you go into your mixer, there it is. And that doesn't deny the option of being able to automate the send volume or the send mute towards that track that it's visually hidden within the track panel, but it's actually available within the mixer panel. So that's like a big kind of update workflow for your Reaper. Within that same mindset, I'm working a couple of records, so that means a lot of updates and changes from time to time. So maybe I had to go into RX to denoise something or to make some really deep cleanup of noise of any file. And remember that you can just substitute any kind of file by double clicking a media item. And for take media new source down here, you can just go into choose a new file, and within your Finder or your Explorer, you can just switch the file with a new one that should be named properly with denoised, declick, decrackled, or cleanup, whatever naming system you're using. So this is a fast way to just replace files if you don't want to have a lot of tracks or a lot of takes and you just want to replace it with whatever is the new file. Remember that all of these actions will be in the description down below. Another one that I realized that not many people know about, and remember that since this is going to be a series of videos where I'm showing different workflow tips for different level of Reaper users. Remember that if you just hit V, you could open the volume envelope. And John from Reaper Blog recently made a clear video that I'm going to link also in the description about the huge difference between the trim volume and the volume envelope, and how there's an action to switch those two. So you can just press V in your keyboard and it's going to open the volume envelope, and you can just draw any kind of automation you want here. And remember, there's also an extra layer of automation for volume within the media item where you can update this in real time. So there are 3 levels of controlling your levels envelope, so you have a proper gain structure or whatever processing you might need. Let's suppose for a moment that you're working in a smaller screen because you're working in a laptop or in a less amount of inches, and you have less screen available. So what I'm doing in my laptop, I'm working right now in my studio computer, is for my laptop I have this extra adjustment in the theme adjuster. You can find it in the action menu as the show theme adjuster options, or you can just go into options, themes and theme adjuster, and you're going to find this window. You just go into the mixer control panel and you will find this option that says narrow form, if track selected, if track not selected, if track arm, if track not arm, etc, etc. So for example, most of the time you might want the mixer to be narrower if you have a smaller screen real estate, but sometimes people will miss the fader. So maybe you want to use the fader of the track you have selected, so you can only use the make the track narrow if the track is not selected. That way you always have the fader available of whatever track you have selected, and this is much easier to work with even in a smaller screen space. That way you can fit a lot more channels, as you see in my screen right now. Because if I don't make it narrow, you will see that I can only fit 6 channels, but if I go into the narrow form, I can fit 3, 6, 9 channels. And if I go all narrow, I could even fit 10 in that same space. So that's a big space saver. I had to edit a couple of brass tracks for some friends that were in an emergency situation. And besides the mindset of editing, sometimes you just need some small fix for a problem. So I have talked on a previous video that I can also link in the description on how to use the stretch markers in a smarter way, or with a more updated version of it maybe. But there's another action that actually saved me a lot of time, that is snap stretch markers in time selection to grid. Sometimes that's not a good idea because you don't want things to be ultra tight into grid, but there's a small loophole within this way of working sometimes. Because what you could be doing is, let's suppose for a moment that we are working in this section right here, and you're watching at my grid settings within a 16th note. That way I know that these 3 are 16th notes, RS, 3 16th notes, etc, etc. So let's set it up right where it should be. Let's select all of them and let's shift them right here. So this is before editing even. Remember that there are some small shortcuts to place things around. So the way I dealt with it is I used the markers against the grid first, where I'm just locating whatever I need the notes to be stretched to, because that way I can just listen once and start adjusting. And I can use an extra shortcut where if you hold Option on your keyboard or Alt, you can just shift the audio within the media item so it starts closer to the beginning and I'm not like pushing it really strongly into the grid. I will set all of my markers using my tap to transient. That's more or less the beginning of the sound. And I'll do this for all of the beginning of the transients just to make it as a fast example. I will select again all of my items. And now I can just drag and pull all of them together. And if one is further ahead or later, I can just drag it left and right. And eventually it will grab itself onto the group. And I will do this again for all of my later items. And I will just drag left and right until all of them are selected. And I will just pull them over there. You can add your stretch markers at your cursor position, that's also faster. You can select all of your media items and you can just drag them like so. If you don't want to be dragging them back and forth, the beauty of it is that after you have placed all of your stretch markers, whatever they are, remember this is just an example, not the way you should be working just because. You can just do a time selection, select all of the media items, and look for snap stretch markers in time selection to grid. You just run and close, and now everything is more or less lined up against your grid. If you want to push this idea a bit further and you're into using that, within the show snap grid settings, you can actually add a little bit of swing to the grid. Let me show you the grid in these 16th nodes, and let me just add swing to it. See, it's going to displace it a little bit if I move it towards one side or the other. That way you could adjust the media items to the grid, and it's not going to follow like this really close computer feeling to it, and have fun with it. Like, it's just meant to make your life easier and be able to work faster. Remember, it's about listening before making the choice, and it's not about just quantizing everything you found. If you like this kind of videos, be sure to hit that notification bell, comment, subscribe, and let me know of any questions you might have. I'll be happy to try and find out some time to make a video about it. And straight from Mexico City, my name is Juanchis, and thanks for listening.